Hello, hello. Thank you for checking in. Great to see you guys. Sturgis. Hello, Sturgis. David Jones. Sturgis was first. Sorry, I missed you guys.
Hello, hello. Thank you for checking.
Sorry, I missed you guys the last couple of days. I am, anyhow, I don't know. I went to the doctor, did some blood work, try to figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, I'm just been exhausted all. Anyhow, I'm not going to go on, but how are you guys doing? How is everybody? I missed you guys. I hope you're all doing well. I can't believe it's like, what is it, 10 days now? 10 days till Christmas? 2 more weeks of 2016. Or, I don't know, it might be thyroid or some sort of infection or something at my blood. Something's out of whack. Haven't been feeling well at all. But yeah. So hello, good to see you guys. And sorry, the genius couldn't make it today. The genius was able to go out and do errands. That's so neat. Thank you, Sam. And Dantooine and Sam, great to see you. Sam, I hope you're seeing some good results from your operation. Hoping, crossing fingers, praying for you for all that, because I know that's kind of important. So, yeah. So, hello, how's everybody doing? It's been nice and warm and beautiful temperatures and weather in California. And I think the fires are still burning, but the one that was pretty close by, the Skirball one, I think that one's pretty much done. That was the one you saw the crazy pictures of with like the cars on the side of the hill. That one was actually really close to me. But that area where it was burning, a big part of that is like there's no houses. It's just kind of like empty scrub brush mountainsides in the canyon there. And it's actually burned before. I think that's why there's no houses there. But yeah, that one was smaller. But so, oh, and good news! Woo-hoo. Can you believe it? Yes. I'm sure you guys were all watching obsessively, like I was, of the Alabama Senate race, where that guy, the fake judge Moore, the guy who's been kicked out of being a judge twice, been like de-judged, whatever you call it, unjudged for not obeying the Constitution and the law, which, you know, as a judge, you're supposed to be the guy who's, yeah, that's kind of like, yeah. And there's also that thing about, you know, like really being into like teenagers and molesting teenagers. And I mean, the fact that back in the day when he was in his mid 30s and he was like the DA, the local mall and the YMCA where he lived had put their employees on alert to keep him away from teenage girls. Okay, that is like a huge ick factor. But even worse, the guy was kicked off of being a judge twice because for not following the law. And then, even if you wanted to say, oh, okay, all of that was a long time ago, just recently in the last couple of months, he had said a lot of problems would be solved. This is a quote from him in an interview just a couple months ago, saying a lot of problems would be solved if we got rid of all of the amendments to the Constitution after the 10th Amendment. I don't know. I think that was like getting rid of, like, I don't know, the right of women to vote, slavery, all kind. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, it was, and Alabama has never, ever voted for a Democrat. But really, David Jones says it was McConnell's fault that Moore was even a candidate. Was it McConnell's fault or Steve? I don't know. Whoever's fault it was, they should have had a better choice for people who wanted to vote Republican. It really, because a lot of those people who didn't want to vote Democrat still couldn't find a way to vote for this guy. It's like I want to vote Republican, but this is what you're giving me. Wow, that's a lot, Sturgis. David Jones says there was a primary with better candidates. Yeah, exactly, Sam. Yeah, they should have had a better candidate. Wanted to keep that. I mean, really, that's the choice they gave their voters. A guy who's been kicked off the judge twice, a guy who now still is even saying, not even conceding, he's contesting it and saying that, like, you know, yeah, so they didn't get the and if and you know, the Democrat guy wouldn't have won. I don't know anything about this Doug Jones. I don't, he barely, all he had to do is say nothing and he would be better than the Moore guy. All he had to do is keep his mouth shut and do nothing, and he would be the better choice. And a lot of Republicans didn't want to vote for this Moore guy because he's just a whack job and incompetent. I mean, how incompetent are you to be kicked off twice from the judge's bench, fired, kicked out, your judgeship removed? So I think the number was like 21,000 Republican, or there were 21,000 write-in votes, and a lot of those write-in votes, I think it was somewhere between 21 and 22. A lot of those write-in votes were Republican guys who didn't want to vote for Moore, but didn't want to vote for the Democrat, so they wrote in, I don't know, someone else, Santa Claus or whatever. And if there had been, and that's pretty much, that's just a little bit more than how much Doug Jones won by. So, which kind of goes to show, if there had been a better Republican candidate, they probably would have been able to keep that a Republican seat. But when they throw up a freak like this guy Moore and then try to, yeah. Oh, I mean, David Jones says the riding the horse to the polls was pretty bad. Well, yeah. See, the guy wanted to look like I'm a down home cowboy, and he said I'm riding my horse. Except if you actually watch him ride the horse, it's practically falling off the horse. I watched it, and I don't know anything about horse riding, barely, but you can tell. Even if you don't know about horse riding, you see this guy's like bouncing all over. He's faking being a horse rider. He's like, is there anything real about this guy, or is he just all an act, an image he's trying to create? You're definitely not a horse rider. And everyone and people who are horse riders were like, what the hell? And Sam says, screw him and the horse he rode in on. Yeah, finally, Finally, you can actually say that and mean it. That saying, well, screw you and the horse you rode in on. Yeah, he actually did ride in on a horse very poorly, almost fell off. David David Jones said the same thing. Oh, great minds think alike, you two. Doug Jones says he doesn't believe that he will ever concede. His ego won't let him. Linda said she didn't see any of this. Oh, we're talking about the Alabama. It's online somewhere. Linda, you can the video of the fake judge guy riding his horse to the polls and almost falling off, trying to pretend that he's a cowboy. He's like, you can see him. You're not supposed to bounce, and like you can see him bouncing and slightly tipping, like, and then he like rights himself a little bit. But yeah, he was such a bad choice. Yeah, the fact that he said the guy who's supposed to be a judge, and a judge, as a judge, you swear an oath to uphold the laws of the Constitution. And he'd been kicked out twice because he didn't do that. And then in an interview just 2 months ago, this just blows my mind. I'm repeating myself, but the fact that he said he thought a lot of problems in the country would be solved if we got rid of all the amendments past the 10th Amendment. That's it. Go back to slavery. Women can't vote. I mean, it's just like, really. And this is a guy who's supposed to swear to uphold the rules of the Constitution, saying we should get rid of half the Constitution. Woohoo! But yeah, so good good job there, Republicans. And I think, yeah, you have to say they did this to themselves. They're the amendments to the Constitution, David Jones. After the 10th Amendment to the Constitution. Let me clarify, amendments, not the articles. Yeah, so anyhow, yeah, so things are just keep getting crazier and crazier. And yeah, so, but anyhow, luckily everything worked out, because the Republicans are relieved, because, and it's their own fault for being in that position. They didn't want him to win. They didn't want the Democrat to win, but they didn't want him to win, because if he had, then they would be in the awkward situation of having to kick him out because of all kinds of ethics violations, and just they didn't even want him. So they're glad that he didn't win, but they're not happy that the Democrat guy won. Hi, Jesus. But it's their own fault for having that's the only choice they gave people. Yes, after the 10th Amendment, or 10th Amendment to the Constitution. That's what he said. Everything after the 10th Amendment to the Constitution, which includes a lot of stuff. Crazy. Oh, yeah. Oh, and now, you guys, everybody here needs to like email state representatives, because I know you've been hearing about the net neutrality thing, taking away, making it so that, yeah, with the like governors, everybody's saying, don't do this, don't do this. And the FCC is not listening to anyone. They're not listening to constituents, the people, the elected officials, governors, all kinds of representatives are saying, don't do this, don't do this. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. The only people who do want it are, the big companies, like the big telecommunication companies. They want it because then they can make their stuff faster and your stuff and my stuff slower. So like everybody, look up online, contact your local representatives and say, no, because they've gotten more noise from people, more response of people saying, no. And the FCC is still going ahead with this, despite the fact that nobody besides the giant telecommunication companies who spent millions of dollars lobbying them to vote for this. And they're going, yeah, we want a rule so that we can do whatever we want, but we won't do it. This is what they're saying. They're actually saying, yeah, we're totally not going to do that. I mean, we could if we wanted to, but we're not going to. No, of course not. We're not going to do that. And you could see them. You could practically see them with their fingers behind their back going, no, we're totally not going to do that. Yeah, then why are you spending millions of dollars lobbying so that you can do that? If you're not going to do it, why are you do you want this rule changed? It's just, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be challenged in the courts, and so it's going to be challenged in the courts. But it's the fact that it cracks me up that these companies are like, no, we're totally not going to do that. We're not going to change anything. Though some of them, I can't remember which one I was reading. Was it Verizon? One of them, one of the big telecommunications companies, had already changed their rules, where it said before it used to write in their terms of service, their rules that like we won't do this, and this, and now they slightly changed it, so they said we probably won't do this, and this, and we'll provide you with adequate, not so yeah, they're already changing the wording in their rules that in their terms of service that would make it okay for them to do that, even though they're totally not going to do that. Totally not. No, totally not. So everybody get in touch with your state and congressional representatives and let them hear they need to keep hearing your response saying, no, we don't want this. Linda says she's like, what are you excited about, Linda? So yeah, anyhow, so but I said I was going to do a short show today, so I'm going to be signing off now, but well, me too. Thanks, Sam. Oh wow, well that sounds fun, Linda. All right, so Tisa says he's been baking all day and rehearsing for Christmas songs he's playing at a rehab center. Well, oh, Tesis, that's very nice. Good for you, Tesis. You're a good man. All right, so I'm just about to sign off, but I will be back tomorrow for Funny Friday. Yes, so we'll do some jokes tomorrow for Funny Friday. All right, kisses for everybody. Bye, I love you guys. Thank you for all your sweet messages. Bye. Bye.